Hey, what's up guys? So today's video is one that a few of you have been waiting for, which is my email correspondence with Epic dev team. Now usually when you get a response from Epic, it's with a community manager. At best, it's very rare that the dev or design team will respond to you directly. However, that is what happened to me and I'm gonna get straight to it. This video is going to be a lot longer than usual, but it's very in-depth and informative, so I would hope that you stick around. So yeah, let's get straight to it. So the first person that I contacted was Daniel Vogel, who's now the COO of Epic. He put out his email on Twitter. If you want to give feedback, you can, just remember to be polite. So yeah. They know I'm making this video, so on October 21st, I said that I'm going to make a YouTube video regarding their failings. I asked them about the 60 AI in NAE servers, saying if they were going to comment on that. What they said was, I'd like to politely request to not refer to the dev by name, which I've blanked out his name. Feel free to continue to send your thoughts on the game, but don't expect me to comment. Okay? So that's where I stand with Epic right now. So I initially contacted them on May, and this was regarding moving zones, which was a huge issue and it's still an issue, right? And this is the email from the design director. So before I begin with that, I just want to give some background into the whole moving zone thing. So in August 23rd, 2019, moving zones got removed by hotfix. A month later, skill-based matchmaking was added. Then 19 months later, did they move in any capacity? And then in May, which is about 2 months later, they finally got fixed to how they are now, right? If you want to see what that looks like, when they first decided to change the zones, half and half you'd get half and half from 5 to 8, right, as opposed to completely moving. Now it's as it has been since May. Okay, and so my email was talking about bringing back full moving zones like arena. Okay, so yeah, this is the email. Hi Taleb, I was the design director on Apex, now I'm on Fortnite, and what I want to stress, pause this if you want to read it completely. I'm going to go through the main bit, which is, for example, I'm sure you noticed that we did address heal-offs. If you see my graphic earlier, it took them 19 months. Why did it take 19 months? You can't really take credit that, oh, we addressed heal-offs, but we just took 19 months to do it. And then the second part, and this is very alarming, because whichever way it is not ideal. So what he says to me is that the current season of Fortnite features some light zone enhancements, and they're going to evaluate the impact of those changes. There has been zero, and I repeat, zero zone changes from season 7 to season 8. So either he's not aware or he's lying. And what can you evaluate if nothing changed, right? So I responded to him. This is not the full email, but I was saying that, why have you not addressed the question that I asked you? You know, end game pacing. And I also asked them directly, why did it take 19 months to implement any change, right? So his response was, our moving zones generate negative sentiment. In Arena, it's fairly common to find players playing defensively, which is just false. Everyone just W keys. If you played Arena, at any level, especially champs, people just hard W key. In fact, you got videos from people like Resub complaining about people W keying, right? And then the next bit, which I will go into, the whole stalemates are very rare. They are not rare. So we're okay with letting the match take longer. Yeah, but who's paying the price? The players, not you. I do believe move zones could be modified to reduce or eliminate the negative sentiment cost, and that's BS. Now, the reason I'm focusing on this is it's a very easy hotfix. Like at the touch of a button, we can have full moving zones like Arena, and it will benefit all the players, right? Now, some of you watching will be like, I don't know, my games don't end like that. The reason people are like, oh, my games don't end like that is because of skill-based matchmaking. That most people are not there looking up on Raz Tracker or whatever, seeing how many AI in their lobby and so on and so forth. I don't know what percentage of players are in the 10 AI lobbies, right? And it's really annoying because it's like moving zones do not reduce the skill gap. Because firstly, if you go skill based matchmaking, when you look at a low level lobby like this, right, it's not even half and half. And these guys just stand in front of each other, just 50-50 long range with the shotgun, right? This guy has practically max materials, doesn't build a single wall. So it's like, what difference does it make if the zone moves or not? And Epic has this data, but they're just not doing anything with it. And as I said, the whole going back to that first email when he was like, "Oh, we've had some light zone enhancements," they don't have a clue what is going on. So if you're sometimes wondering why, what's Epic doing, it's because I'll be honest, they don't know themselves. They're literally throwing darts at a wall and just going with it, and then they're so surprised at what. Like they'll do stuff like this. They're like, "Oh, we want your feedback, right? Your opponents, their skill, building skill, shooting skill, right? But what does that mean? It means nothing. You need to go into this detail. You need to watch the game to see how they're played." So this was a game from earlier today. You can see with the pickaxe that I have that it is from earlier today. And it's a classic game that's going to drag out. So what happens is the zone is 100% knowable, okay? So people know that the zone's just gonna shrink, right? So you can just go straight there and box up, and that's what everyone does. It's still 7 people. So this notion that core BR mode doesn't end in stalemates is BS. Play one game at a high enough level, and you'll see that this is how people play, because this is the best way to play if you want to win the game, right? Because you own every single build piece. So if someone pushes you, you can disengage, right? And then what will happen is if you want to push someone, you're just gonna get third partied. And as you can see, there's still 5 people. Yeah, the zone starts to move, but it's too little too late that the earlier moving zones are more impactful. Whereas now it barely goes anywhere, so all you can do is just tunnel in, right? Still 5 people, still 5 people, 4 people now. And it's like the zone drags out to zone 9 about to fully close, right? And all I can think to do is just RPG the guy, right? And it's like, yeah, I won, but it was 100% predictable and boring. Like, you just do not have to think. And you think, oh, what about, the lesser skilled players? Well, what you have to bear in mind is they don't know. Like, they do not have the confidence in the game. And Epic, I know you're watching this, is you need to realize that you need to fix skill-based matchmaking rather than do these ridiculous changes that do not help the player, right? So here's my example, right? The Charlotte here, max materials. Do they build? No, they do not, because they're probably thinking, oh, I'll reveal my position, right? I might as well, be sneaky. And it's like, you know what? You're not that hidden. And guess what? You just got beamed for half your health, right? And then they finally decide to build, right? And someone like this, okay, they might get to the end game and they might feel like they did better, but they still lost the game. So that's what I'm trying to say, that I understand catering to the lesser skilled players, right? But you're not, because they're going to lose either way. If the zone didn't move at all, they still would have lost because they do not have the confidence to push someone. And what happens? Oh, they just get pumped in the face. Whereas if the zone actually moved, they have a chance because whilst people are busy fighting, they can third party. So it's just something that benefits no one. And the reason that I focus on it so much is because this is something that Epic can just hotfix and it will benefit all players, yet they refuse to do it. So it gives little hope for Epic to fix skill-based matchmaking, which is a lot more nuanced than just one fix. What I want to show now is this image that helps you understand even more why the games drag out and have stalemates, which is this is arena moving zones overlaid with how zones are in regular games, right? The very bright blue is the regular game, light blue is arena, okay? You can see from zone 5, it's just shrinks centrally and you know exactly where it's going to go. So you just go straight to the middle of the zone and just box up, right? Whereas the arena, even half and half, people have to go here, okay? And with regular game, when it finally starts to move, you can see that it barely goes anywhere. Whereas look at arena, you're pretty much having to go almost 4 times the distance. So that's why games just end quickly, because one, you don't know where it's going to go. It's not going to be the same thing that you can predict for 2 freaking years. And this is the picture that I sent to Epic. It's like, hey, look, season 7, 5 people left. And it's like, even if they wanted to, they can't push each other because all that will happen is people will just crank to high. And again, the game drags out to zone 9 about to fully close. And it's like, yeah, I won, but it's boring and predictable. Same again with season 8. This is from Lawyer. And you can see the same shit. It's like if the zone doesn't move earlier, there's only one way to play, and people do play that, and they play the same way for 2 years. And as you can see by that Charlotte example, it's like they don't know what to do. And heck, I'll show you another example. This was from NA East. Which one was it? Shah Zone 9, I think. No, it wasn't. It was this one. Yeah, this was on NA East, an example of a lower skill player, right? So the zone's not even moving, yet the guy on the mountain can't figure out where on the map they should be, and then I just beam them out there. Okay. Next guy, I'm like, all right, I'm not even gonna bother trying to find him. I'm just gonna go AFK, listen to some lo-fi or whatever, right? And then they're finally there. Now, I could have gone down and fight and just, pumped him in the face, but I just wanted to see what they did, right? And the answer is nothing, because people like that do not have the confidence. Simple as that. You cannot give them confidence, right? Do they do anything? Nope, they just sit there, just hoping for the best, right? And then when zone starts to move, they panic and they're like, oh, what should I do? What should I do? Oh, I don't know what to do. And then they manage to just pull out an impulse and then they send themselves into the storm, right? So this is what I'm trying to say. It's like all moving zones do, or all static zones do, shrinking zones do, is make it even easier for the better player to win because there is zero jeopardy and you're not going to get people to play arena. Listen, the reason I don't want to play arena is because it's completely different. There's people who spend 8 hours a day in creative learning to piece control, then they go into arena. I don't want to face that. It's not the case that you're either super casual or you want to be, a competitive player. There is gradients, okay? What I want to talk about now is this video by the Camping Russia that features my chart. That explains how SBM currently works for NA East and other regions. Now, there's a lot of people that have not fully grasped or understood what Epic have done here, right? So, there's a lot of people saying, "Oh, I love this change," etc., right? Without realizing that they haven't really changed anything. There's only one guy. I mean, there might be a few others, but only one that I've seen. Where is he? Oh, there we go. Matt Farrer. The SPM changes are just lazy. Epic should try to actually implement a matchmaking system based on skill rather than just add more bots. That's essentially what they've done, right? Because here's the thing, right? There is 55 AI lobbies. However, you gotta be bad at the game to get into them naturally on a server like EU, right? And you can see there's only 5 PC players, 9 Switch players, right? Whereas what they've done in NA East is they've just added more bots, but they haven't done anything to change the makeup at the top. So they're just less players overall, right? Now compare that to EU, you have more real players, and that's it. That's all they've done, right? It should be Audemars boss. Yeah. So yeah, this change right now in NAEs is not going to do anything, and I don't see what Epic are trying to get out of here because all they've done is just add more bots. You know, they haven't adjusted for anything. So what I'm going to talk about finally is things they could do to that would actually make a difference, right? Show now is some suggestion for skill-based matchmaking, but firstly, I want to talk about you're never going to find a perfect solution, right? And the reason for that is how people play the game. So this is the game that I won earlier that I showed you. You can see that people just hot drop because people just want action, right? Yeah, you can see that no one got eliminated in Holly, Slurpee, etc., right? Everyone just went lazy and the new drop where the thing happened, right? And that's how it happens. And then the second, most kills are like edge of zone because people just do not know how to fight quickly, right? So, regardless of the changes that you make, it's not really going to change the game because all people are going to do is just hot drop anyway, right? Now, what my suggestions were is firstly, we don't need to have instant queues, right? I'm sure most people would be happy to wait a minute, 2 minutes to have a fairer game, right? So my first suggestion is take creative into account, right? If you go on Fortnite Tracker, you can already see how long someone spends in creative, what they're doing, right? So if someone's spending, 6 hours a day on edit courses in realistic 2v2s, right? Their style of playing the game is going to be vastly different to someone like me who only plays core mode, right? So with that in mind, also edits per match, right? Because I'm someone who builds a lot, but I'm not someone who piece controls. Really can't be bothered. Whereas if someone's putting lots of different build pieces in quick succession, they're doing the peanut butter edit or whatever you call it. That's going to be a lot more challenging than anything else, and that's probably the number one factor, right? Team modes, I mean, the more people you add, the harder it's going to be to create a fair balance. And it's like Epic's currently doing one or the other, which is either the highest in the party or the lowest in the party. And there's pluses and minuses to both. Um, if it's in the lowest in the party, then yeah, you can pub stomp. But then the problem is that if you do highest in party, if I'm genuinely playing with my friends who don't build or anything else like that, they're gonna get instantly destroyed if they come up with someone against my skill level. So there's got to be a way to balance it out rather than have it at both ends of the spectrum, right? Also, crossplay is fine. There's a lot of people that like get PC players out of there. It's like I don't think you realize that there's a lot of PC players who are just awful at the game. It's just unless you're doing what I do, which is checking every single elimination and saying was it a PC player, was it a PlayStation player, right? Because there's a lot of PC players that do not build, just walk around aimlessly, right? And there's a lot of console players who can do quick edits, right? So the real problem is that Epic just all they do is like, oh, there's gonna be 5 PC players, 23 PlayStation players. That's it, regardless of anything beyond basic. Do they build? And yeah, this is not gonna fix the game. It's not gonna instantly make it better, but it would at least create fairer matches than the current system. And yeah, so yeah, thanks for watching. It's been a lot longer than my usual videos. And if you made it this far, congrats. As I said, if you have any comments, questions, leave them in the comments below. And as ever, consider subscribing. I mean, I don't just do skill-based matchmaking, but I appreciate that majority of people are here for that. So yeah, thank you.